K.I.S.S Day Lesson 543，首先要去祝大家一个新年快乐 ，Happy New Year and Happy New Year's Eve。然后希望大家都可以去过一个比较快乐的新年的晚上，然后和家人都在一起，然后在任何地方去做你喜欢的事情。那今天呢是一节跑题系列，那我们会发现呢，除了雅思以外的话，偶尔我会跟你们去聊一些跑题系列，然后这个系列偏偏是大家最喜欢的一个系列，我偶尔会跟你们聊一聊怎么健身、怎么养成习惯，以及怎么解决你们雅思复习中的各种各样的焦虑的问题。那今天因为是新年的最后一天，所以我想说，要不然我们去用英文去给大家去聊一聊关于 New Year Resolutions 的问题吧，就是你们经常去写这个新年的计划或者叫做新年愿景。我们主要聊一聊，就是为什么我个人更偏好写的一个东西叫做 Last Year Review， 而不是 New Year Resolutions。然后全程的话呢，我们都会用英文给大家去分享，这样你不管是你复习雅思同学还是不复习雅思同学的话，都可以去 pick up 一些比较有用的英文的地道表达，我们会给你去显示到屏幕上面。然后如果你觉得今天这个课程的话会对你的复习有一些帮助的话，可以帮助我们去一键3连一下，这样就会有越来越多同学去看到我们的课程。还有就是如果你还没有注册我们7天免费课的话，到 K.I.S.S.com 去注册一下，这样可以去学习雅思考到877甚至是878必备的写作的15个逻辑链，怎么去解决50多个高频题，以及雅思口语怎么用1个万能故事和4个万能原因去搞定所有的题目。好了，我们现在就去聊一聊今天的课程了。那 today's lesson will break down to 2 topics. Topic number 1 is the science behind why New Year resolutions actually don't work for most people. Actually, for 80% of the people. Number 2, we'll talk about how we can do a last year review. I'm going to do my last year review together with you. Okay, now let's move to the part 1, the science behind New Year resolutions. Okay. I have my notes here because I'm not an expert about this neuroscience thing. Okay, number 1 is that based on neuroscience, here it's called prefrontal cortex. It is in charge of willpower when it comes to New Year resolutions because we tend to want to achieve so many things in our life. You will say, I want to lose weight, I want to earn more money, I want to get promoted, I want to spend more time with my family, but at the same time, I also want to spend more time with myself. I want to travel around the world, but I also want to have a very cozy home. So because we want to achieve so many things, this would make this prefrontal cortex feel very overwhelmed because prefrontal cortex can only process a little bit of the information. So in this case, it will experience something called information overload. And this part will tell your body, will tell every part of you that I'm done. I don't want to do that anymore. That is why science found that actually 80% of the people will forget their New Year resolutions at the end of every year in March. At the end of March every year. Okay. Now another theory is called behavior change theory. I did a little bit of research about this. Actually, there are 6 stages of behavior change. This is based on a scientist in 1970s. So as you can see, the first three stages are very easier for us. It is about you have the willingness to change your behavior, and the second one is about do some little bit of preparation. For example, you can write down your goals. Third one is to take some actions. But the fourth one is called maintenance. Maintenance means that you have to stick to the habits that you really want to do, right? For example, if you really want to lose weight, you really got to eat clean. You really got to eat healthy. Basically, 80% of your diet should be healthy, and then you got to go to the gym probably 3 to 4 times a week. But most people cannot stick to their habits because in our life there are so many distractions. Sometimes you have to work overtime, sometimes you have your friends who want to have a party with you, and there are so many junk food restaurants in the city. They are just so delicious and so tempting, right? So this is what problem happens. Now, number 3 is that it's about tiny habits. It's a theory behind how to create a habits. So there's a very famous behavior change scientist and professor whose name is B.J. Fogg. I used to study his behavior change program and used to be a certified tiny habit coach. So based on his theory, as you all know, creating habits is the most important thing for us to achieve our New Year resolution goals, right? So as we can see from this picture, there are 3 parts to create a new habit. It is called MAT. M is motivation, A is ability, T is trigger. Okay, let me explain to you one by one. M is very easy to understand. You have to have motivation. In the beginning of this year, we are all very motivated. But why our motivation tend to drop? Because ability means how easy it is for us to stick to the habit. Have you noticed that we always say, I'm gonna go to the gym every day? You never told myself that I'm gonna walk 5 minutes longer every day after dinner. Because that goal is not that, it doesn't sound very exciting for you, but actually just those small, tiny habits will make big changes in your life. But because we are not aware of the fact that the ability tend to be correlated with the motivation. When a behavior is very difficult to do, we tend to lose the motivation very easily. For example, you say, I'm not gonna eat any junk food for the rest of my life. How difficult would that be? so that is why your motivation tend to drop. Okay, number 3 is called trigger. Trigger means that in order to make a new habit happen, we tend to pair that with an existing habit. For example, if you want to floss, 剔牙，那这个时候的话就是用牙线剔牙。Okay, in this case, you always say that after I brush my teeth, I will floss 1 teeth. And then next day I'll floss 2 teeth. Next day I'll floss 3 teeth, and I'll celebrate about it. Because you got this celebration and you have the existing triggers to brush your teeth, you will never forget to brush your teeth, right? That's why you will never forget to floss, because you also have the reward that you will celebrate, right? So, but have you noticed that on our New Year's resolutions list, have we mentioned any specific behaviors like this? Never, right? Because we tend to write down something that is very vague, that is very big and abstract. That is why New Year resolutions don't work for most of the people, okay? But if you happen to be the 10% or the 20% who happen to follow through all your goals, I'm very happy for you. It doesn't mean that your approaches don't work. It just means that they don't work for most of the people, okay? If you want to learn more about these tiny habits and how to create habits, I happen to have another video to talk about it. Okay, you can click the link below. Now, let's move on to my computer screen. I'm going to do my last year's, before I move on to the computer screen, let me explain to you the part 2 is why having a last year review is very important. Because the last year review is based on the goal of the last year review is to help you to do more activities that you already know will make you happy, and drop some activities that already drain you, already make you feel very frustrated. In that case, you will have a happier life. And also because our surroundings, our friends, a lot of things tend to change every year, right? So it's very hard for you to predict what goals you really want to achieve in the beginning of this year. That is why it's better to plan something based on what we've already known that have already made us happy or have already made us frustrated. Okay, so now let's go to the computer to take some notes about this last year review. Now let's have a look at how to do this yearly review. You need to have a phone, and then you were gonna use the notepad. Let's create a table. Then one column is positive. This stands for the activities that make you feel very happy. And then this negative stands for the activities that make you feel very frustrated or sad. And let's add more rows. So now we go to the photo. We tend to like taking a lot of photos, right? And you notice that these photos can give you an idea about what activities you did this year in different months. And then even though a lot of photos were taken when you were very happy, it can help you recall more specific experience. Okay, for example, this is my life in January. We were in Bangkok. Do you know what I hated the most when we were living in the hotel in Bangkok? We lived there for 1 month. Oh, exactly. So this is, see, it's better to have somebody to do that together with you, because I totally forgot this. So not being able, that really frustrated me a lot to cook. Another thing, these are all the food. What I like the most about Bangkok? Yes, a lot of yum yums food. And another thing I dislike about the hotel, I was on sweater every day, man. It was so cold. Cold working environment. And also no meeting room. I need a co-working. So this also helps me make better decisions. I would know that I would spend most of my time in Chiang Mai instead of in a hotel, like in a place that without a co-working. So February we were still in Bangkok, and then but here look, we went to Koh Samui. I was very happy in Koh Samui because I saw the ocean and I was very excited. I got to work next to the ocean with very beautiful view. So I think something I like about ocean is that I can work with an ocean view. Okay, something I dislike about Phuket is to Samui isolated place with no friends and not convenient to walk around, right? Right, Ulysses?
Where?
This is on my negative list. Some place that is not convenient to walk around.
Yeah, like walkability.
Yeah, walkability is very important to me. So this is what happened. Oh, we spent some time with George's birthday party. I love that. So I also love to spend time with friends. Time with friends. So these are just some of the activities that I did in January and February, and then it's really better to do it together with your partner or friends because they can help you recall some details. You can see this. There are a lot of activities in each column, right? The next thing you need to do is to finish filling all those columns, and then to ask yourself, what are the 3 activities or maybe 2 activities that create the most happiness in this category, will create the most negative feelings in this category. For example, for me until now, it seems that working in a co-working create the most happiness of this year, and it's kind of sustainable. It's throughout the year I always love working in a co-working. And the negatives should be not being able to cook. I always love to cook, even just like once or twice a week, right, Ulysses? I love to cook, correct. So next year I will cook more, and also I have to make sure I have a very beautiful co-working to live. Hence why next month we are moving to Bangkok instead of Phuket. Okay. So this is all about this review, and hopefully you can learn some useful tips or some English phrases from it. Next time when you see me, that will be the new year. We'll do some review about IELTS test trend. Okay, Happy New Year!